This is an early access release and only contains the first 3 levels. The final game will have hours of branching content and fill your SSD. Throughout development, they will receive changes and updates to graphics, footage, music, UI, and mechanics, everything. If you have feedback, we would love to hear from you. We intended to shape this game with your views and minds. Talk to us on forums if you find bugs or interesting game-related suggestions. We accept bribes. Seer, thank you for having not for broadcast unless you pirated it. Enjoy enough to buy it. We can't finish the game without people for paying for it, and our poor coder is looking mighty hungry. Alright. Let me turn down the game a little bit for me. Okay. Enter game name, JQ. The efforts you choose will influence the value of the company making the product and more. Day 1, the election.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry. It's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the 4 small screens on the left
Okay. This is intense.
studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any 3 and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Go in here.
Right, won't be long now till the signal starts coming through from the station. Stay on your toes. All the bigwigs are in tonight because of the election, so we better not make any mistakes.
Okay.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay,
Moving on up.
all good.
The election
Next
win
is going to be the
that
throw
Oxford
to the
says
news
Jess
titles on screen 2.
For our
There'll
hostile.
be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic
Right, button
That's
2,
what's
bit
up,
early there, mate.
National Nightly News.
Next thing is the throwback to
Bit early.
button 1, when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
See that Blunderclatch on election night?
Yeah. No.
I suppose so. You know.
Oh my god, you can like switch between.
Switch to screen 1 now. Lovely, mate.
First, The votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance.
Okay.
The landslide.
Listen, mate, we often get a bit of interference around this time of night, so keep your eye on the machine on the bottom right. You can move that white dot up and down, avoiding the interference using the yellow knob or your scroll wheel.
Of a severe lack of actual policies and of being
Wow, okay.
deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to
Wow.
appear publicly.
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
We'll be going live
Okay.
to Advance HQ to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3,
That's all coming
2,
up.
1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you.
I thought that was our little secret.
It's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb.
These aren't my...
1.
Please tell me.
Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine.
Okay.
It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you?
Yeah.
Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much for...
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to
Screen
the
one,
National News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
off,
ready to go to Megan on screen
Megan
4.
Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to
shop
Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is a moment.
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to
This is
Peter
hard.
the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last.
I'm doing so many, like, camera
role
switches. This
when I
is so
played
hard.
Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love.
Been on that shot a bit long.
A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That's a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed, historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
He did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right,
around
they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Watch out for that interference, mate.
I don't understand it.
God, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio. I'd love to hear what he's saying, but don't switch to it now. You can go to the archive when the broadcast's done. We keep everything.
I don't know that.
Nolans, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
It's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Oh my god.
Did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
I'm gonna change the world, you remember? When I listened to you.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
you need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this!
The virus. The sterility. This folder. This is the key.
Stop it all.
Yes!
Hi, Ham. This is called Not for Broadcast.
If we should.
It's like Papers, Please, but in a broadcast studio. It just came out yesterday.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the space bar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm, and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Live and then broadcast, I see.
You want crazy? Crazy nails got.
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed.
Christ,
Don't
you're
wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your
a
keyboard
lawyer and a
1 to
TV
4.
personality running the country.
Okay.
Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advanced Headquarters, where the 2 leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address. acceptance.
Oh shit.
Shall I start?
Go for it, Pat.
Shall I start? Okay. Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. You, the people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. It makes me
Oh my god.
closer than the granny's funny.
Memorably put.
What?
But to be honest, you can blame Peter for celebrating.
Oh, too long.
Throughout the campaign, you've heard us
I
say
see.
that Advance are
Okay.
not a political party.
This is
A
intense.
party's what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to pass the Assets and Wealth Act, working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country.
Hi,
who
Lone
amounts
Star.
to the
This is intense.
You know
This is just
sort.
the-
You rather you don't. Because the
Just-
likes of you and me
just the
are
first
not welcome
episode.
in their gated community.
Like the
Tomorrow,
first,
we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country.
the first
No more
tutorial.
hiding wealth
There's just so much to
offshore, no
do.
more Trust funds or creative accounting.
This game just
Simpler,
came out today.
Fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions, but you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their
Whoops.
private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents,
Hi, Lunar.
I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Only meant to censor the swear word.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day.
Oh
of
my
Advance.
god.
I'm Johnny Dawson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody. Same again tomorrow. Call times are on the board.
Looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all your help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave.
Politics,
Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Job's yours, mate.
You should be so lucky.
Oh my
See you
god.
tomorrow night.
Going for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Okay. Segment grade B. You know, that's not too bad, I guess. Outstanding censoring, some interference, lovely editing, went to ads late once. Okay.
All right, mate. I left you a voicemail. I thought you'd end up here. Most people come into the archive. for
Similar what you do for work.
podcast. That way you can see what you
It's
did
intense,
and
Lone
look to
Star.
the public. As you can see, there's 3 three sections to the archive. Broadcasts, that's what you've put out. Rushes, which is all the stuff that was on all the screens. And adverts, which is any advert that you've chosen to show. So let's have a look at the broadcasts.
This is like Papers, Please, Lunar. But for broadcasts.
Okay, on the left you can see all the broadcasts that you've done. You can also get to hear from the main menu if you don't actually want to do a broadcast, you just want to see some of your past work. Select any of those and click Load Tape.
Well, in a few
Why not
moments,
watch
we'll
what
be
you just
going
did?
live to
When you're
tonight's
done,
National
hit
Nightly
back.
News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on
So
Channel
not fun?
1.
I think they're really
At
fun.
7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game, and it's a nail-biting quiz
I
tonight.
like job
as a
simulators
team
like
of
this.
nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey will be grilling his guests in Incisors, and tonight sees a return for leading economist Katie Brightman. Finally, at midnight, it's the National Weather Report, before we say good night until tomorrow. But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson for the National Nightly News.
So I could see the
Good
broadcast.
evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up, the election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile? Controversy.
I wish I could
as
fast
Global
forward a little
Weather
bit.
Corporation Remington
Can I?
buys honest
No.
Andy's totally.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Okay, these 4 screens, they're exactly the same as the 4 screens that feed you the studio signal when you're doing the actual news.
Let's go knee-high
The
socks.
difference here is you can mute any screen you like or any combination of screens and you can have a listen to what was going on behind the scenes. Just select any segment, that's any bit between ad breaks over on the left, and hit play. When you're done checking out the backstage secrets, hit back.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
But this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
Oh no, I think they think he won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. He's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do one beastly interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin, bloody ice, Rob.
Wow.
Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody.
Wow.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first, our very own culture reporter, Megan Wolfe, is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolfe, culture correspondent. And today
We all
I have
know
a guest
someone
who
like that,
starred in
who's like
everything
the
from Shakespeare
actor guy.
to the
Yeah, for
Shopbot
sure.
films. I'm very excited to be joined today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear. I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among the greatest joys of my life.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Bless you.
So you've just finished filming your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the
I want to
wrap,
see his freak
that's
out. I wish I could make
Peter
make
Jensen,
this
the
go
director. Do you know him? He's
faster.
a wonderful chap. He really is. I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been.
But I'm just gonna go. And then I can look at the adverts. My Salad Weekly.
Celebrate the classic age of salad with this exquisite limited edition collection. My Salad Weekly. Sign up now and every week we'll send you an authentic, ethically sourced ingredient to add to your salad. Build your collection week by week and very soon you'll have a salad that really gets the love.
Every week you get one item.
Tomatoes and oils to leafy greens and lovely grains. This really is the complete collection. Every issue also comes with a companion magazine that explores the history of the art.
Alright. So I saved and quit, so let's continue on.